Before June, it can be. So please nominate yourself. It is a good opportunity to improve your leadership skills. And with that note, I open meeting number 196. Today our propitious meeting, our dynamic Toastmaster Puran Rai is going to take over, and I think it will be very interesting because he is a very experienced Toastmaster and he is very humorous. We got the theme of the meeting, appreciation. So first let us appreciate for him for becoming a Toastmaster of the evening. Let me call upon Toastmaster.
Thank you, President Toastmaster Palikare. I think we started off the meeting very well by appreciating my presence and my role out here. Before start, good evening Toastmasters before I start. Good evening guests, respected guests as well. I hope this meeting will be very exciting, very interesting. So let's all join together to make it a very successful meeting. Are we all together in it?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. So before I start the meeting, I would like to point out some changes in the agenda. Toastmaster DTMPO Anthony, I think unfortunately he will not be making it. He is on the way back from Dubai village. So in this place, Toastmaster Arun Krishnan has kindly consented to take the role of table topics evaluator. And Madam Toastmaster Yugarani also, she will not be attending today's meeting because of some family issues. So these are the small changes. Otherwise, all the rest of the team is here today, which is very good. Now, it's always a pleasure to have new guests in our meeting because I think they are the very important people who help the club grow. So, as per our tradition, I would like to request each of the guests to please come on stage and briefly give an introduction of themselves and also how they came to know about Toastmasters. So, may I invite our guest here, starting from
I'm working as a project manager in a private company, and I'm out from Tamil Nadu. And I heard about this one. I was in Oman from 2004 to 2012. And my company was like Toastmaster. But at that time I was not interested to go there. But I attended 2 class. It's really good to develop our communication skill, even writing skills. So I heard that. I saw through website Toastmaster here also available. And I'm staying in Saudi only, so better to join with Saudi, the Mussafah areas. So that I called the morning one persons, then I got it. So, yes, sir. Thank you.
You will be a member very soon. Yes. Next guest, please.
Good evening, everyone. Myself Madhu. I am from Hyderabad. I work with SpaceX as an electrical engineer. One of my seniors told about this Toastmaster, so today I just joined. So I thank everyone for giving this opportunity. Let me go through, then after, step by step, I will continue. Thank you.
Any more guests? I think senior already. About to join already. So next step. Okay, before I go on to the introduction of the role players, I would like to briefly talk about the theme of the meeting. The theme of the meeting I've chosen is appreciation. Appreciation is a small gesture, action by which we recognize a person will do a good job or do something which is beneficial to us all. Yet, many of us neglect or ignore or completely forget to acknowledge, to appreciate when some people do. and that can have a very damaging effect. We all know that we all come here every alternative Mondays. In spite of our busy schedule, we have a lot of things to do with our family, sometimes busy with our office work, yet we try to make this to this meeting. I think from among the different reasons, one of the reasons is that we want to learn, of course. But the other thing which I feel is that because here we get recognized, we get appreciated for what we do, we get complimented, we get encouraged. And I think that's a very big, important thing for all of us. It's very important to be recognized. And that gives us the encouragement, the inspiration to come and join and be at this club meeting every alternative Monday. Do you all agree on that?
Yes.
Yes.
So the other thing is now, we all often forget to use those two golden words, thank you. Does it cost any money to say thank you?
Not at all.
Does it cost any money? Does it reduce your bank balance? It doesn't, right? Yet why are we so stingy? Why do we always forget, neglect to say those two words, thank you? Or we forget to appreciate when somebody does a good job? I just want to tell you one of the reasons why I think we as human beings want to be recognized. I think we all know that we are important, aren't we? I will give you some examples. Many years ago, an American telephone company conducted a survey, when it was possible then, to find out which word was the most frequently used during a conversation. And it was I. It was used 3,900 times during 500 conversations. That was the reason why the famous motivational speaker and thinker, Kevin Roberts, I don't know how many of you have heard of Kevin Roberts. He once declared that 3 billion people on the face of the earth go to bed every night hungry for food. But 5 billion people go to bed every night hungry for a simple word of appreciation and recognition. We all want to be recognized. We all want to be complimented for the good things we do. Yet we forget, we ignore, we neglect. And that can lead to a lot of negative impact. I'm going to talk about the negative impact later on. And I'm also going to talk about the positive impact of appreciation later on. And then I'm going to conclude. So this will be in my 4-part series. I'll be talking about appreciation. But before I go to the next one, if we were asked to choose which are the things we most desire in life, what would it be? Food, money,
Health.
Recognition.
house, recognition, and appreciation. Most of these desires can be fulfilled except this desire for recognition and appreciation. I think you all agree with that, right? So that's why I think all of us, we long for appreciation. That's the reason why I chose this theme today, why I've given this topic a little bit of importance. Because I feel that there is a lack of appreciation going around in our life. So before I come to the negative effect of lack of appreciation, I would like to introduce the role players who are so important for the conducting of the meeting today. For the role players now, for timer we have Toastmasters Sanal Haridas. I would like to request him to kindly come on stage and briefly give us an idea about his role. Toastmaster Sanal Haridas is an engineer in communication working as network specialist at Jab University Abu Dhabi. He's been here for 20 years and he's from Thrissur, Kerala.
Toastmaster, good evening. Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, warm greeting here. Today my role as a timer is to monitor time during the prepared speeches, table topics and evaluation. At the end of the meeting, I will report the timings of each participant. This will let you know if you delivered your presentation within the allocated time frame. For the prepared speeches, we have 5 to 7 minutes. For the evaluation of the prepared speeches, we have 2 to 3 minutes. as well as for the table topics, we have 1 to 2 minutes with a grace period of 30 seconds. Or do you Toastmasters?
I think there's a slight error on the next role player. I think Toastmaster Rashid has not showed up, so may I request someone to take up this one? Toastmaster Nofel has kindly consented to be the counter. You guys, please take the role.
Toastmaster of the evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests, good evening to you.
Good evening.
Today my role is a counter. The purpose of the counter is not any word sound used as crutch by anyone who speaks during the meeting. Words may be inappropriate interjections such as and, well, but, so, and you know. Sounds may be but you should also note when a speaker repeats a word phrase such as this means, etc. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, Wordmaster Grammarian is Toastmaster Sanawaz. May I request you to kindly come on stage while I introduce you. Toastmaster Sanawaz is from Kochi, Kerala. He is a computer engineer and entrepreneur, having an IT company in Abu Dhabi.
Good evening, Toastmasters.
Good evening.
Toastmasters of the evening. My role as Wordmaster is to introduce to you a new word that can be incorporated easily into everyday conversation, but different from the way people normally use the words. It will also help the fellow Toastmasters to enrich your vocabulary and use the word in your prepared speeches from today and beyond. So for today's meeting, the word of the day is propitious. This word is very much matching with the theme of the day, so you can use it, I think, a lot of time. It is an adjective, and the meaning of the word is indicating or giving a good chance of success. Giving or indicating a good chance of success. Another meaning is presenting favorable conditions. So I will give you some example words, sentences also. So hence it happens to be the responsibility of the society to provide a propitious environment for the mentally challenged people. Another sentence, we are therefore at a propitious moment for the development of a broader, more detailed theory. One more sentence, the timing couldn't have been more propitious. So these are some examples. Synonyms of these words are favorable, advantageous, promising and auspicious. I have one more role as a grammarian. So before that, I request all the members to use this word as much as possible. I will count the number of usages and provide a report at the end of the meeting. So as a grammarian, I will pay attention to the usage of good English and provide suggestions for improvements. I will listen to everyone's word usage for any awkward or misuse of English language. This can be incomplete sentences that change direction in midstream, incorrect grammar, and so on. Again, at the end of the meeting, I will provide a report. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now the next role player is one of the most interesting one, very challenging one for all of us, table topics. And the role player, the table topics master today is Toastmaster Dinesh Kumar. I would like to invite him to kindly. Toastmaster Dinesh Kumar is a QHSE manager in fabric construction. He has 2 minutes.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
My name is Dinesh Kumar, as introduced, and I am your table topics master for tonight. This is the fun portion of the meeting. It allows us to practice our impromptu speaking skills. Table topics also allows every member who does not have already having a speaking role to speak at the meeting. I have prepared propitious topics for your choice. You can select anyone which I offer. Select one and you can start speaking on them. The time will be 1 minute with 30 seconds.
1 to 2 minutes.
Please. Or
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmasters. The next role player, of course, is table topics evaluator. And for table topics evaluator, Toastmaster Arun has kindly volunteered to be the evaluator.
Toastmaster of the evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests, good evening.
good evening.
Today I am the evaluator of table topics. As the table topic master rightly said, it's a fun portion of the meeting and it reveals your impromptu skills. Though it is fun, when you present it, it should be in the similar format of a speech and it should be restricted within 1 to 2 minutes with a grace period of 30 seconds. So whatever topics you get, he has a lot of things in his mind. Still, I would like each and every one of you to be propitious in delivering all of it.
Thank you. Next role player is quiz master. It's also very interesting. I'd like to invite Toastmaster Arun Mankandan to kindly come and explain the role. Toastmaster Arun Mankandan is working in Volkswagen for the last 8 years.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. My role as a quizmaster to listen carefully to the all speakers and note down some questions from the speeches and table topics. The purpose of this for the listening skill. At the end of the meeting, I will ask some questions from the meeting. Thank you.
Toastmaster Arun. So we better be attentive because we're going to ask a lot of questions at the end of the Now the next role player is a very important role player. He will be giving us an overall picture of how the meeting was managed, how it took place, and for that role is none other than Toastmaster Ramraj. I would like to invite you first. Toastmaster Ramraj is a mechanical engineer with a doctorate in materials management, specialized in metal engineering. He speaks 5 languages. He's had 2 daughters and is a specialist in Tabreed and has been the Toastmasters for 15 years. He's a very senior person.
Toastmaster of the evening, fellow Toastmasters and President. Very good evening. Good evening. My role, today's role is as a general evaluator to evaluate whatever happening today in this meeting. My role is to evaluate each and every role player who comes forward here to do their roles and to evaluate them and to motivate them to suggest what better they can do for their future. So as you all know that this is the platform where all the Toastmasters try to do the propitious platform to do better for their future in their all respects in the future in all respects. Over to you.
Thank you. Now, we don't have thought of the day today because Toastmaster Deepak could not come. Before we go to the most interesting part of the meeting, prepared speeches, I would like to go to the second part of my theme today about
Thought of the day you can do.
You are going to say thought? Oh, really? Sorry. So we have another volunteer, Toastmaster Deepak, Dinesh Kumar, for thought of the day.
Good evening once again. Good evening. Every day morning, we go to our workplace, we go to our friends, or we see our family members and ask, how are you? Good morning, how are you? What we expect to hear? That there is no flood, there is no havoc, there is no earthquake. I am okay. I am fine. Thank you. Excellent. Good. These are the answers we normally expect to hear. We appreciate those answers. But without a proper reason, somebody will say that, it's going on, what? Another day. Well, how it is a good morning, they will ask sometimes. So for such people, we have to always think that, remind them that you are still alive, you can do a lot of things. This is such a beautiful morning and you are not stuck in a traffic. Everything positive, 5 things you can list so that they will remember remaining million things. But if we leave them like that, okay, good, everything will be okay. Then from there back we will say that, such a negative man. So where the negativity comes? Negativity comes from us. If you can add his negative to our positive and tell him, boost him with 5 positive things, he will add 1 million to his mind. He will start counting 1 million to his mind. So appreciate that part of human mind which always tends to positive and stimulate that.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dinesh Kumar, for that impromptu, thought of the day. I don't know how many of us have read the book, The Secret. Haven't read the book, The Secret. I think we should read because the book is basically about what he just said. It's like attracts like. So if you think about positive things, you'll always have positive things happening in your life. If you think about negative things, you'll always have negative things because like attracts like. And it's a very interesting book. I think you also read it. Anyway, I was just talking about the effects of lack of appreciation. And the sad thing is, I myself have suffered because of lack of appreciation. I would like to apologize to my dad who's upstairs, but in our time, our parents were quite strict and they were not as close as we are today. They were quite aloof. So there was no kind of hugging and back, what do you call it, pat on the back, those kind of things were quite rare. I was a good student and I was a topper in grade 6, 7. But then I somehow felt that my dad was not appreciating my achievements. I thought he was taking it for granted because there was no hug or no congratulations, well done, keep it up, thumbs up kind of thing. So foolishly, I wanted to take revenge. So I decided to neglect my studies. And then my marks started going down, and I actually never fully recovered. So that was my first brush with lack of appreciation. These are the kind of damaging effects that lack of appreciation can have. There was a survey done many years ago to find out why so many wives were leaving their husbands. And the result was lack of appreciation. And I'm sure if another survey were to be done among the male counterparts, the result would be the same. I'm sure you hear every day your wife complaining, I wash the dishes, I wash the clothes, I look after the children, I clean the house, I even work. There's no recognition, no appreciation from my husband. And the husband will be saying, oh yeah, I go to office, to play billiards, or to play cards, or to chat with my friends. I have a lot of stress in my office too. I have to keep the boss happy, targets to meet. And these things go on and on and on. And if these things are not taken care of, it can lead to separation, painful fights and all that. All these are because of lack of appreciation. So the damage, a lack of appreciation can do harm many. Now, I will come to the next part is the positive effect of appreciation. That will be in my next part. Now we come to the most interesting part of the meeting today, the prepared speeches. Among the 4 speakers, one Madam Toastmaster Urani could not come. So we have 3 speeches today. Before I go into the introduction of the speakers, I would like to ask the timer to kindly explain the timing rules for the speeches. Toastmasters.
Once again, good evening to you all. For the prepared speeches, we have 5 to 7 minutes, plus or minus 30 seconds. At the 5 minutes, the green light will be on. And And at the end of 6 minutes, the yellow light will be on. And at the end of 7 minutes, the red light will be on. The speaker can continue this speech for another 30 seconds more. Or 2 minutes.
Thank you, Toastmaster. I'm sorry, there's again another person missing. So who will evaluate Toastmaster Vivek Charles' speech? Can I have some volunteer? Toastmaster, he's already evaluated. I'm sorry for this slight step here. I hope Toastmaster will take it as a propitious moment also. So, first project speech is by Toastmaster Vivek Charles. It's project number 3. I'd like to request Toastmaster Arun to kindly explain the objectives of the speech. Toastmaster Arun is from he works in Al Jaber Group as an IT consultant. He's an MBA, BTech, and has been 5 years with Toastmasters.
Thank you. Yes. Toastmaster, good evening, fellow Toastmasters and good evening once again. And Toastmaster Vivek Charles in particular. Today, Toastmaster Charles is going to execute his 3rd project, Get to the Point, right? 3rd project. These are the objectives. Select a speech topic and determine its generic and specific purposes. Organize the speech in a manner that best achieves those purposes. Ensure the beginning, body, and conclusion reinforce the purpose. Protect sincerity and conviction, and control any nervousness if at all there you may face. Strive not to use notes. All the best and best of luck.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Toastmaster Vivek Charles is a graduate of Health Sciences, works as a food and beverage associate with Marriott. He's been in UAE for 8 months now. Kindly, please come. Toastmaster Vivek Charles.
Wherever you go, wherever you be, do not say yes when you are to say no. Do you know the song? You don't know the song. Alright, don't worry, never mind. Okay. Alright, Toastmaster of the evening, distinguished Toastmasters and our guests, a warm good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, tonight is going to be very simple. Tonight I'm going to be talking about the 2 most dreaded words in history. Normally we talk to friends, we talk to everyone, we talk to our parents. It's easy to talk. But there are 2 most dreaded words in which we're scared of. And the first word is yes. Several times we meet a girl, maybe in high school, or maybe in the university, or maybe at work, and we feel she's the one for us. We fall madly in love and oh my, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. And so you go on one knee and you say, will you marry me? What do you expect her to say? Yes. Yes, right? Good. But many people have suffered heartbreaks. Many people are still miserable in their homes, in their families, because they said what? Yes. Many marriages now are crumbling. Many women are tired and they want to run out of their marriages. Why? Because they said yes. How many times has your friend asked you, come on, forget about studying, let's just go party a bit? And what do you say? Yes. And how many times have you failed the course in the university? So many times because you said yes. How many times while driving to work, you are just driving, you know the right way to go, you know where to go, but a thought in your mind tells you, use this other route, it will lead you to Madina Zaid. You know the right way to go, but a thought just comes in, I think you should use a shortcut. And you say yes to that thought, and you end up in a bush. Has it happened to you before? Yes. The second most dreaded word is no. So many of us have lost opportunities because we said no. We said no. Come on, try this work. Come on, just apply. No, it doesn't look like my work. No, okay, just try it. How many times our parents, while we're growing up, just told us, just try. I don't feel like, no. I don't feel like, no. Each time what we keep saying is, no. How many times have we lost that contract because we said no? How many times have we lost relationships because we said no? How many times have we lost loved ones because we said no? How many times have we lost peace because we said no? The two most dreaded words, but are the simplest of all words, yes and no. I can tell you right in your heart now, you are thinking of several decisions you've taken by saying yes and by saying no that has affected your whole life. Sometimes the course you studied in school shouldn't have been the course, but you just said yes because you thought there was no other alternative, there was no other choice. Sometimes we have said no to opportunities that would have made you better just because they were dressed in rags. When do you say yes? And when do you say no? That song was favorite to my grandma. She always said, do not say yes when you are meant to say no. How many times have you been in a fix and that thought of thinking of something crazy, something not so straight comes in? How many times have you learned to say no? A man who cannot say no can never be known. It is you that is able to stand for what is right that can be known. Compromise does not make you known. Standing for what is the truth makes you known. How many times have you been able to say yes to the right thing and stand by it? It will come with consequences actually. It's going to make you hurt sometimes. You're going to regret it sometimes. How many times have you had to say yes to a bank loan that you should have said no to? And you're still paying for that loan till now. How many times were you supposed to just be trekking or using the bus to work, but you decided to be a big boy and decided to buy a car, which you know you cannot feel, and the car becomes a liability? You must learn to say no to certain things. Now let me just end with this. One of the things you should understand is that you stop dwelling on your past. One of the reasons we have refused to go on is because we think that we've done so bad at the past. We dwell so much at the past that we think nothing will change. I've come to tell you that things can change if only you can change your perspective on when to use yes and when to use no. We are so used to the past, so we stay in the past. Your mistakes are your mistakes. Grow out of it. When should you use yes? When should you use no? Number one, learn to trust your heart. Not just the way you think. Learn to trust your heart. If you must say yes, what is this yes about? So many of us are in marriages we want to get out of. So many of us are in jobs we don't like, just because we just said yes to the job. Before you take another step, yes, you've taken a step before, it has gone. It's time for you to look at the next step I'm going to take. Before I take that step again, think. Talk to yourself. Is this right for me? Don't just say yes. Think. Tell yourself, I deserve the very best. Don't just say yes. Someone comes with a proposal at work and tells you this is going to bring you 100,000 dirhams at the end of 6 months. Don't just say yes. Don't just sign that contract. Think. Talk to yourself. And number 2, which is the most important, talk to someone. Don't just take decisions all by yourself. Learn to talk to someone. So many of us have escaped so many things because we talk to our wives, we talk to our husbands, we talk to our friends, we talk to our relatives. Number 1, you must learn to believe in yourself. You must learn to talk to yourself. Number 2, you must learn to talk to someone so that when you say yes and you say no, you know that it's going to count. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Charles, for wonderful speech. The next speaker is Toastmaster Siraj Wani for project number 2. He's being evaluated by Toastmaster John Thomas. Toastmaster John Thomas, could you kindly tell us the objectives of the speech?
Toastmaster of the evening, fellow members, guests, Toastmaster Shiraz in particular, warm good evening. Toastmaster Shiraz is going to present his second project today. The speech title is Navigating Fatherhood Again, and the purpose statements are: this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. The purpose of this speech is for the member to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator. All the very best, Toastmaster Shiraz.
Toastmaster Siraj Wani is from India. He's been in the UAE for the last 10 years working in oil and gas. He likes to travel and keep fit. He's a fit man. So, over to you.
While first-time dads are scared of what they don't know, second-time dads are scared of what they already know. Again, sleepless nights, again, all the heartburn, again, all the marital stress, and long crying spells. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, dear guests, good evening.
Good evening.
Today I'm going to talk about some of my thoughts on navigating fatherhood, not the first time, but the second time. So, as I'm talking about fatherhood, obviously my core audience today are men, and for some reason there are women are missing from this, but I would have loved for them to appreciate male perspective. Well, so as we're talking about fatherhood, I hope I give a balanced perspective on this subject, and I don't deter people in this room who might be planning on becoming dads second time around. Well, parenthood is really a roller coaster ride. We all understand that. It has its ups and downs. But in my particular case, when child number 2 arrived, I called my children number 1 and number 2. So when number 2 arrived, I thought that I had bought this ticket to this Ferrari World roller coaster, and that was something which I had not bargained for. So it was really a lot more exciting, or what I would say troublesome than I had really imagined. So let's picture this. I'll give you a premise of what really is the case here. We are a nuclear family, simple nuclear family of 4. We are in expat. We don't really have the comforts and luxuries that we would really enjoy back home with our family and friends supporting my wife in case she needed any support. So where does your wife reach out to when she needs support with any care on number 1, number 2, or herself? It's basically up to you. So this really comes with its own consequences and side effects. Let me talk about some of the cons of this whole episode. First of all, simplicity. Simplicity goes out of the window once you start having 2 children. So earlier small things like getting out of the house, things that you did not even think about, consider to be things, they become like projects. Getting out of the house, making a trip, making international travel, all these become like super difficult tasks. And earlier when we used to go to bed, I used to tell my wife good night. Now I used to tell her good luck. So such is a dramatic change that happens in your life. Second, I would say is care, the amount of care that we as men need to provide. Men are by default, by our DNA, are not caregivers. Women are. Women are a lot more strong when it comes to providing care. Men are resource providers, we are hunters. So men have to really adapt themselves in this mode that they really start providing care to number one, number two, and your wife, who really needs it. Third, I would say that one big reason is, of course, marital stress. This comes not because you guys hate each other, but just you're probably dabbling with so many balls in the air, and you are stressed out. So your wife is going to be jealous of every trip you make outside. Every time you leave home without a baby attached to you, your wife is going to be keeping account of it and recording it. She's going to mentally file away in her mind with great accuracy every nap you take, every shower you take, and all the time spent watching TV, all your WhatsApps, everything is going to be nicely, neatly documented and will be used at the right opportunity in an emotional blowout because she's fatigued, sleep deprived, and probably full of body fluids of the baby. So all in all, it's something to watch out for. Be prepared for what you're getting into. Friends, you will lose out on friends. Now why would you say that? Friends who are smart enough not to get married or probably not to have kids, they don't fit into your plans anymore. You don't fit into their plans anymore. So obviously with time, the bond doesn't remain that strong. But I see a lot of gloom and doom in this room, but there are positives too. So let me talk about some pros of becoming a dad again. I think first of all, it's good for world peace. How? The dads will make peace with their mother-in-laws, and the mothers will make peace in their mother-in-laws, because you really need that support. You can't really, you bury your egos, and you just we need each other, and the family bond becomes stronger. Second, I would say you really become like the super dad in your mind. You know you have done it before. Earlier when I used to carry this bigger bag, when I used to just make a trip to the park, now I used to just carry this bigger bag, with some wipes here, some diapers here and there, and I know I can do it. So that gives you the confidence. All the night shift doctors in Allur and NMC hospital, they knew me by name, that this is a dad who's a new dad who has no clue why his son is crying in the middle of the night. But now I don't walk into that situation. Again, third I would say is about friends again. So why your friends are no longer people who you really like. Your friends are the father or the mother of your children's friends. So they are now your social circle, and this is how you network going forward. Finally, the last but not the least reason, which I think makes all this worth it, is you're not a first-time father. Your wife is not a first-time mother, but your number one is now a first-time elder sister or a first-time elder brother, and that is, I think, the real joy to see that they have matured into a different role. They are now a leader. They are now a role model and a carer. That is something I think money cannot buy. Finally, as I begin towards conclusion, I think it's all this summary of all these experiences that make your second time journey into fatherhood all the more special, different for sure, stressful yes, but joyful. Of course, easier said than done. Last, as I conclude, I have my utmost respect and appreciation, admiration for those people who even think about number 3. Just like in Toastmasters, where you have some taboo topics, in my house, this is a taboo topic.
Wow, wonderful. Wonderful speech.
I think about that.
Overplaying, different rules. Well, the next speaker is Toastmaster Ashraf Ali, who is venturing into his first icebreaker. I'd like to introduce Toastmaster. Before I introduce him, I'd like to invite Toastmaster Rajesh Padikar to please explain the objective of the speech. Icebreaker.
Toastmaster Ashok today is delivering his first speech, that is icebreaker. The speech objective is to begin speaking before an audience, to discover speaking skills you already have and skills that need to some attention. All the best for you.
Toastmaster Ashraf Ali is the second try at Toastmasters. He's a computer engineer in the UAE for 14 years, currently working with IBM. Toastmaster Ashraf Ali. All the best.
The teacher teaching math asked the student Arnav, if I give you 2 mangoes and 2 mangoes, how many mangoes do you have? Arnav replied, 5 mangoes. That was the right answer. Toastmasters of the day, fellow Toastmasters, yes. Good evening to you all.
Good evening.
How can be 2 mangoes and 2 mangoes be 5 mangoes? Teacher remembers, Arnav doesn't like mangoes. He likes strawberries. She changes the question. If I give you 2 strawberries and 2 strawberries, how many strawberries will you have? Arnav replied, 4. Teacher is pleased that her strategy worked. Now to confirm if Arnav has got the math right, she asked the question again. If I give you 2 mangoes and another 2 mangoes, how many mangoes do you have? 5, replied. Teacher is upset. How can 2 strawberries and 2 strawberries is 4 and 2 mangoes and 2 mangoes is 5? Arnav replied, I already have one mango in my bag. Sometimes I'm like this teacher, judgmental about things. But when I see the hidden mango, I don't hesitate to ask sorry. Say sorry, you will make more friends. I have a lot of friends here in UAE. Some of them work with me, some live in UAE. Some of my school friends, some of my college friends are here. I'm happy in UAE because of my friends. I'm a computer science engineer. That's because of my mom. I didn't do well in grade 12. I had very less mark, but because my mom insisted on joining computer science engineering, I did computer science engineering. She knew it was very important to have a good education. Even though she was from a village, she knew the importance of education, and that made me go into computer science engineering. Talking about a village. So my village is greenish, it's neat, it's calm, and it's pleasant. No one in this world, no one would compare his home to any other place. Our home is the best place in the world, right? Same for me. In villages, what we do, we respect animals and environment equally. We treat them well. So I love animals. We had a cow at home, and when we sold it, I literally cried. I had a rabbit with me for 2 years. When it died, I felt as if I've lost my friend. My father was always worried of me taking care of animals. He wanted me to study well. He did not want these things to distract me. He always used to say, you should have a goal in life and you should aim for something big. In school days, I couldn't differentiate what is a goal, what is an aim. But the seeding of something to be you have to think about something. You have to know about something which you don't know. That was already done. So when I talk about looking out for something new, I remember I should mention about my teachers. I had some wonderful teachers. They always said, Ashraf, you are a more confident person. Confidence, yes, I am a bit overconfident. Confidence. Talking about confidence, I would like to share another story. This time about a police officer. So in India, what happens? There is an interstate police competition which happens every year at national levels. So there is a police officer called Kalimurthy. He participated in that national level and he won gold 3 times. And he went in for the 4th time. This time what he did, every time when he won the gold medal, there was another police officer who used to compete with him at the last final. He always used to be a person from Kerala. His name is Achyutan Nair. So he always competed with him. So this 4th time he is into the finals, but Achyutan Nair is not there. He is happy that I don't have the real competition now. But there is a girl standing by to compete with him. Since she is a girl, he thought, I'm going to win easily. And he went on. In the final round is to shoot at the bullseye. 6 rounds, he went, he got 5 in the bullseye, 1 in the ring. The girls, it was girls' turn. She went in, she also hit 5 times bullseye, 1 in the inner ring. It's a tie. He thought he could easily win, but he couldn't. So when this came, his immediate thought process is, okay, this girl is talented. The referee offered him for a task. He immediately accepted. But the girl came to him and said, Mr. Murthy, this is not a game of chance, it's a game of skill. So he had to accept the challenge. They went in for the 2nd round of shooting. This time it was 12 rounds to be fired. He went in, he got 10 in the bullseye, 1 in the inner ring. The girl went. She got all 12 in the inner ring, all 12 in the bullseye. She won. The girl went to Kalimurthy. She said, "Don't be upset for losing to me. I knew you were practicing 20 rounds a day. I was practicing 60 rounds a day. You can't beat me. And I am the daughter of Achyutan Nair, who lost gold thrice to you." Why I share this story? This story gives me confidence. This story gives me motivation to do something new. Red light is on. My son says red light is the time to stop. My son is 6 years old. My daughter is 4 years old. I have a wife, lovely wife. My tennis and cricket is my passion. Thank you.
Now, before we move on to the next topic, I would like to request timer Toastmasters to please announce the timer.
Once again, good evening to you all. Toastmaster Charles took 7 minutes and 38 seconds. Toastmaster Shiraz took 6 minutes and 51 seconds. Toastmaster Ashraf took 7 minutes and 27 seconds. Toastmaster Shiraz and Toastmaster Ashraf qualify for the
Qualify. Charles, one first name, please. Is it?
slightly.
How many seconds it is?
8 seconds.
8 seconds should be pardoned.
Should be pardoned, right?
Yeah.
I don't know who decides this.
There would be a rule.
President can take the.
It can be overruled.
No.
Okay.
So what I didn't understand. So it can be accepted. It cannot be. So cross means it cross. Unfortunately, it was such a wonderful speech. Before I go on to the
timeline is not correct.
Yes, 4 and 6. 4 and 6. What is
Ah.
For icebreaker, in the agenda.
In the agenda it is written.
That's why
Agenda is wrong. That name cannot say anything, but actually icebreaker is.
Sorry.
I gave.
Sorry, we overlooked this. Okay, now before I go on to the next evaluation of the speeches, I'd like to continue on the positive effect of appreciation. And like I always do, I'll always like to give examples from my own life. You know how sensitive a relationship between a mother-in-law and a daughter-in-law is. In fact, I think we always are scared when they come together, right? It sparks fly. But I've been lucky in the sense because my mother and my wife, they get along very well. And I used to wonder how. And I realized that my mother is always appreciating my work, whatever she does. And I also realized that it was not flattery, it was not fake, it was genuine appreciation. Because they say, flattery comes through the teeth, you can recognize. But genuine appreciation comes from your heart. So my mother used to appreciate my wife's cooking. She's a good cook. She appreciates how she keeps the house clean. My wife is a stickler for cleanliness. You can see a speck of dust. So this kind of made the whole atmosphere in the house very healthy. And I also realized that my wife also tolerates a lot of things about my mom. So it's kind of reciprocal. So appreciation, I see it opens the door. If you appreciate someone, you get appreciated. But if you criticize someone, you slam the door shut. If you criticize someone, that person will never appreciate you. Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
So I think that's also one of the reasons why we like to come to this meeting here. Because there's a lot of appreciation, a lot of genuine kind of comments coming. I'm sure if there was a lot of criticism going around, I think there would be about 1/3 of people coming in this meeting. So there's also another example I would like to share with you, the positive effect of appreciation. There was a young man in America, Detroit, who was born blind. But he has an extraordinary power of hearing. One day, his class teacher asked him to help her to find a mouse that was lost inside the classroom by using his sense of hearing. This gesture of his class teacher, recognizing his extraordinary power of hearing, so much encouraged him that he went on to develop his sense of hearing to become a famous composer, singer, Stevie Wonder of the 70s. So this is what appreciation, genuine appreciation can do. It can change a person's life. So friends, I think we should not ignore, we should not neglect, we should appreciate when people do something. And I will come to my last conclusion after we go through the other topics now. Now we'd like to go into the speech evaluation. And I would like to request timer Toastmaster Sunal. Toastmaster Sunal, if you could kindly give the timing rules for the evaluation.
Good evening once again. For the evaluation, we have 2 to 3 minutes and 30 seconds is the leg of buffer time.
Okay, I would like to invite Toastmaster Arun to kindly give an evaluation of Toastmaster Charles.
About 25 years back, I was a teacher. And I always being in a doubt. When I put 100 on top of the bar, what should I put? And fellow Toastmasters, today, there is no way for me other than just calling this person onto the podium. Please come on. And this is the mark for it.